I know the president is on the campaign trail. He's got to make TV appearances, but snubbing Netanyahu, from a security standpoint, what does that say to the rest of the world when he won't meet with our strategic ally in the region?
Unfortunately, this isn't an isolated incident, Andrew. What's happening to Bibi Netanyahu at this particular moment is just the latest and in some ways the most outrageous of the myriad steps that Obama has taken to demean him, to treat him with contempt, to distance the United States from Israel. And you asked the right question. What is this likely to translate into? And I would argue two things. One, it is signaling to every enemy of freedom, most especially Israel's enemies immediately around it and a little further removed, like Iran, that it's open season on Israel. Because the thing that has been absolutely bankable, at least since 1973, is the United States is going to back Israel. And there will be no benefit to anybody who tries to attack Israel in a sort of, existential threat kind of way. That's changing. What that means is, I think it invites war against Israel. And I'm not talking about a war like, Afghanistan counterinsurgency strategies. I'm talking about an old-fashioned, horrific, regional and possibly broader conflict. The second thing it says, I'm afraid, Andrew, is to the Israelis, they're on their own. And in that circumstance, it's just that much more likely that they are going to feel compelled to deal with some of the existential threats that they confront, most especially the incipient nuclear bomb of Iran.
Is this, I was just going to ask you about that. Is this a green light to Iran?
Well, the trouble I have is that we've seen so much telegraphing of a punch against Iran. At some point, my guess is yes, they are going to be preemptively acting against Israel and quite possibly against us. One of the vulnerabilities that Dinesh talks about very powerfully in the film is we've allowed our deterrent, our military, but most especially our nuclear capabilities to degrade. One of the places that the Iranians seem to be very seriously trying to take their nuclear program is in the direction of something called an electromagnetic pulse capability, a bomb that would be detonated in space over the United States and could literally fry much of our electrical grid, transforming this country in the blink of an eye to a pre-industrial society, one without electricity. It sounds mind-boggling, but we also hear that's the kind of attack the Israelis are contemplating against Iran. Iran could do it to us if they get their hands on this bomb. I fear that's what they have in mind when Ahmadinejad keeps saying a world without America is not only desirable, it's achievable.